Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another session of the Black Blockchain Brunch. My name is Kamal Hubbard here on Black USA News. Guys should check out some of the other programming here on the site and station. Of course, Donnie Glover, if he's back, the Black Business Roundtable with Art Douglas Blacksher, and many of the other shows. Of course, like 60 Minutes in Black that comes on every Sunday evening with Michael Haney. So, hope you guys are enjoying the programming. If you get a chance, once again, be sure to check out all the other shows from all the wonderful content creators here on the channel. So, I wanted to just also say really quick, no news program today, unfortunately, guys. If you do want to get connected with news, be sure to get the Cage Chain newsletter at cagechain.io. That's coming out every week, just about. But I'm going to remain consistent with that. News nowadays, I end up adding a little bit too much commentary and got a little bit of feedback on that. Doesn't sound like it's being received very well. So, I would need to focus on other things like this, right? Looking at projects. I've shared this project before, Elephant Money, and why I liked it. So hopefully you guys can go back into the archives and look into why Elephant Money is so intriguing and so important. That said, this program is really to get more into what Elephant Money is. And, I've told a lot of people over months of coverage of this particular project to do your own research, right? And a lot of people, when they do, everyone does their own research differently. So I want to address, first off, what Elephant Money is. And one of the best resources to find out more about Elephant Money is the Elephant Money Wiki. So I'm going to bring this up really quickly here. And this is a great resource to really get a lot of your basic questions answered on this project in terms of what it is, how it functions, and first and foremost, Elephant Money is simply the first global decentralized community bank of its kind. It is a permissionless system for economic inclusion and helps its community accumulate wealth through active and passive cash flows. Elephant Money implements a voluntary, sustainable, and permissionless global economic engine on top of a collection of blue chip assets, a core rewards token, which is Elephant, and a stablecoin trunk. The Elephant Money protocol is 100% complete and finished product and provides yield and price appreciation. So just going there with it, a lot of folks will say, hey, Elephant Money has been hacked. And that's where they just stop, right? Or they will say, hey, Trunk, the stable asset collapsed. Now, those are two important issues. And if those are reasons to dissuade you from the project, that's interesting. But there's a lot of other interesting factors about this. So, yes, this project has been compromised due to a flash loan attack. There's a lot of information in terms of how that happened, but I think it's important just to look once again at the technical analysis here, right? A lot of protocols have been hacked, but looking here at the coin stats, right? This project had nothing short of a phenomenal run up here, right? You can see it was running up to the top and hit this huge spike, went down. Now, that may have been due to the hack, could be, but if you see here, the rest of the trajectory of the project has just continued to run up once again, right? It didn't, the hack didn't cause this project to die and to stop. It's actually been accumulating and appreciating ever since its recovery. So I think that's very important for people to know, right? It's recovered, it's continuing to recover, and the question of the stable token trunk is, it's also another issue. However, trunk is separate from elephant, and elephant has recovered. There is a plan in place for the recovery of trunk, and that is almost something. If you're not in trunk, then you don't have to worry. If you are in trunk, then what you have to do is sit back and understand the strategy better and how that will all transpire, which you can find these questions or answers to these questions in the Elephant Wiki. So let's go back and get a few more questions answered here. So I think another interesting aspect of elephant money is elephant money futures. So this new project allows people very much to accumulate on a different stable token, which is BUSD. Now, people may have their questions or their reservations about BUSD, but once again, if you've looked into how these recent decisions have affected BUSD, you would understand that it's still operating and it is still being serviced on the Binance Smart Chain. So that aside, what futures allows you to do is deposit and lock BUSD into the futures vault to earn a daily BUSD rewards on your total value locked. So essentially what that's saying is whatever you deposit, you actually get back in a daily yield. And those rewards are paid at a rate of 0.5% daily on whatever you deposit. So your minimum deposit is 200 BUSD. Rewards can be claimed at any time. So once again, daily, you are going to have rewards coming in, and you can claim those rewards once again at any time. Can you pull your entire deposit? No, you can't do that. The rewards are actually, once again, they're getting paid out on that 0.5% daily. So that's when you, so every day you can take out what you deposited that is being paid out on that appreciation of that 0.5% daily, which by a lot of standards can be seen as quite generous. It depends once again on what your objectives are. But unclaimed rewards will be rolled into your TVL automatically on a fresh deposit. So you can compound by continuing to deposit at least 200 BUSD on your existing deposits. 90% of funds are sent to the BUSD Treasury for use by the governance contracts. 10% of funds are held in a BUSD buffer pool for yield repayment. So let's just say, once again, you have that 200 BUSD minimum deposit that you make. $20 is going to be held in that buffer pool that helps pay out yield on everyone's deposits as well as yours. And then the other 90% goes out to the governance contracts. And you can find out more about the governance contracts by, once again, using this wiki to answer your question. So in fact, let's just do that now. So if we go here to governance, let's spell governance right. Okay, so, or actually, let's try the governance strategies. So let's just see what this has to say. So the governance tab contains the various governance strategies and community rewards pool functions for the protocol. It allows any community member to trigger these functions in a truly decentralized manner by simply paying the gas fee to execute the transaction. Okay, so these governance strategies allow for the ecosystem to not only pay out, but also buy into its various strategies that essentially help keep the ecosystem sustainable. So let's just see. One of these governance strategies is the Stampede bond float. So not a strategy, but the amount of unpaid bonds in Stampede, which is used as the oracle for computing both trunk rewards and the performance pool. The more unpaid bonds, the better the adoption and growth is. So that's one governance strategy. Another governance strategy is elephant buyback, right? So 10 to 50% of BUSD treasury balance per day to gradually buy back elephant as funds stream in from trunk minting and futures deposit. This mitigates the abrupt changes in volatility and adds constant buy pressure to elephant for the treasury and liquidity. So once again, another strategy is buying elephant off the market to stave off volatility as well as create liquidity for the project. Once again, that enhances the stability and sustainability of the project, as well as adds money to the treasury. So, most people would say, well, if you have a bank, you have to have a treasury. And that's, once again, what made Elephant so intriguing. They thought about this and had this in mind, that not only are we just going to have a token that has a price that is affixed to it, and we hope that price goes up in value on a daily or semi-regular basis, we're also going to have a treasury attached to it that is there in case something happens, like a hack, right? And so when this project was hacked, there was a treasury that was attacked, but there were still funds in that treasury after the fact that kept the project afloat. So let me keep going here just a little bit more, but you can really see how much of a useful tool the Elephant Money Wiki is. So another strategy is the trunk redemption strategy. So 5 to 30% APR on Elephant Treasury is used to pay outstanding claims on the redemption queue for trunk. Elephant is then sold for BUSD. All of this stuff is happening in the smart contracts in an autonomous manner too. So that's also, once again, what makes this project very interesting. So a peg strategy, peg support strategy. 5% on the APR of Elephant Treasury is used to buy trunk and also add liquidity to trunk BUSD Elephant. So in order to bring trunk back to that $1 stablecoin peg, there is a strategy that is in place. I mentioned that earlier. This is what that strategy is. And now the more that futures is utilized, the more that trunk can come back to peg. And now, as I mentioned, the Elephant Treasury, which is Bertha. Now, this is probably one of the best strategies out there. The Elephant Treasury, aka Bertha, is Elephant Reserve Funds that is used to absorb circulating supply of Elephant and also provide funding towards the payout for redemptions for the redemption pool and Elephant Money futures claims. The Elephant Treasury acts as a large payer. It will collect RFI rewards from incoming trading volume from Elephant and always ensure a managed redemption of 1-to-1 regardless of the peg. This means that players will always be able to redeem trunk for 1 USD worth of assets as long as they are willing to wait for the redemption queue for the system to receive funds to process the order. A PEG support governance strategy, 5% APR on the treasury, is used to buy trunk and also add liquidity to the trunk BUSD LP pair. As the elephant treasury grows through minting and bonding, the inflows of the redemption pool will exceed the outflows, allowing the system to operate in a steady state. So really, the more funds that go into the elephant treasury, the better trunk will become. And so, you guys can continue to look into that. In fact, I also want to actually show this chart once again, going back to the coin stats and really describe what was going on here. So basically, this project started out as zero. It was a fair launch, and everyone just bought tokens at this very, very, very cheap price of a fraction of a cent. And as it continued to appreciate in value, we see this huge spike here. And what happened here is the buy pressure that has been talked about in that strategy in the wiki created what was called a supply shock, right? And basically, you had so many people buying elephant, and while people were buying, simultaneously, the smart contracts were also buying more elephant to get locked into the treasury, which once again created a scarcity of the token and caused the price to drive up. This is what's called supply shock, and I hope I'm describing it. And that's what this whole major spike was. And now we're starting to see this happen again, once again, gradually accumulating and increasing price action. And in fact, I want to kind of zoom in here on the last 3 months of this project. We see this up and to the right directional flow of the chart and price. So if you've been in this project for the last 3 months, you've seen steady growth. And so, that's just something to keep in mind. Even in the last month, I know a lot of folks have talked about how Bitcoin is doing recently, but Elephant has actually been doing quite well on its own too. So guys, make sure to keep an eye on this project. If you can't get your questions answered by the Elephant Money Wiki, join the Telegram group and get your questions answered there. Also, another even more interesting layer to this project are they're going to be releasing NFTs very soon that will pay out rewards from the Elephant Money treasury. So that is another way to get in and to, not financial advice here, guys. Should have said this a lot earlier, but, it's just something to keep in mind. And of course, past performance does not promise any sort of future gains or appreciation or future results. We can only use charts and things like that to help us make decisions. So, look at the chart, study the chart, use the wiki to answer your questions, reach out to me if you have questions. But once again, I'm keeping an eye on this project because with these NFTs coming out and getting paid rewards from the Elephant Money treasury, can make it a project in the future that can have some degree of tremendous value. So keep that in mind. Once again, not financial advice, but be sure to check out Elephant Money, guys. So best of luck to you, and hope this was helpful. Take care. Have a great weekend.